to start off with yourself, Joe, talk about the getting back from the injury and the injury itself. I might bring it back to initially when you did pick up that ankle injury and needed to get surgery on it. Would there have been fears in the back of your mind? Oh God, no, this could be season over.
Yeah, definitely early on I thought it was quite looking tight if I'd get back for the end of the season, but so yeah, I was a bit worried early on, but yeah, we have a great physio team in here, so that luckily they got me back probably a week or two earlier than expected, so just delighted to be able to get a game under my belt before the end of the season.
And then once you got a kind of a rough picture of when you could potentially be coming back, I mean, obviously it's marked down and you're looking at the time, I imagine, thinking there's potentially quarterfinals, semi-finals around. I imagine that was a huge motivating factor to get back knowing you were coming into the business end of the season.
Yeah, 100%, because I remember kind of you usually sit down and plan out your injury and what you're going to plan to do, and the targets were all basically get back for knockout games, so you're kind of first hoping that like the lads could do enough to get you into a position where you'd be in the knockout games, and then you're looking at just the big knockout games where you're trying to get back for. So yeah, it was definitely made it a lot easier to stick to my rehab knowing what was at the end.
And you were straight into it in that game against Toulouse. How's the body been holding up since then? Like, I mean, it's a couple of big games to have been involved in.
Yeah, actually, no, I only was in against the Sharks there. But,
Sharks, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'd
all those games in the Aviva are blended into one for me.
Yeah, I know. It's about 20 in the Aviva, so a good few more left, hopefully. So I was in there at the weekend. It was great. I played like 15 minutes, but it was great just to get it back playing rugby again, because no matter how much running you do or what gym stuff you do, there's nothing like actually just playing some rugby, getting some bone on. So yeah, it was fantastic to be back. You can especially get a win in a knockout game.
And looking at this weekend now against Munster, obviously there's motivation everywhere. First of all, it's to get into a URC final, but I imagine for a lot of players as well, it's trying to get into a squad for next week as well for a final and trying to impress.
Yeah, I suppose we kind of like, it's a cliche, but like we're really just taking every game as it comes, because every game at the moment is massive. It's like last week we're playing a quarter final against the Sharks, ton of Springboks, and this week we're playing against Munster, who've really like had a strong end to the season. So, and we know how much quality is in their side. So yeah, we're all just trying to prepare as best we can for Munster, because we know by putting our best foot forward against Munster will set us up for whatever games we have after that.
And just finally then for me, it was a good weekend all round in the family. We saw last week your younger brothers going in fully into the academy from next season.
Yeah, it'll be quite funny maybe getting lifts in with him and things like that, but should be interesting when he comes into the building. I haven't really trained with him properly, but yeah, no, he's delighted to be coming in.
Great stuff. Cheers, Joe. All the best this week.
Thank you, Neil. Cheers.
Joe, hi, Will from Virgin Media here. Just wanted to ask you, just obviously with these two huge games coming up and the size, the strength of the Leinster squad, just how competitive is it between all you guys trying to break into one of those 15 places?
Yeah, it's hugely competitive. I think every year it just seems like there's more competition, more lads are stepping up. It's great though, because even in training it's so competitive. There's 2 full 15s or 3 full 15s that are all quality players, so we have such a high level of training, and then the competition between all the players just brings out the best in us. I think we've gotten quite good at, like, everyone works really well together, all the second rows, back rows and their units, but then you're all competing against each other. So yeah, I think it's a big part of our success, just the competition just driving everyone.
And never mind having an off day on the pitch, but can you even afford to have an off day in training now at this stage?
Yeah, not really, especially because all you have is only a couple of games left in the season, and then the training session, every session kind of matters. So yeah, if you're not you need to put your best foot forward every time you get an opportunity, because they're pretty limited. Either playing like a couple of games or your training session, so you're kind of kept on your toes.
And listen, finally for me, not much needs to be said about a game against Munster. Obviously, there's a huge rivalry there. It happens a few times a season, and this could go on to be one of the most memorable seasons for Leinster ever in their history. So how important is it for you guys to get another win over them this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's massive. There's definitely like a different edge around the building, especially the interpro weeks, and I think you're quite heightened in awareness, because you know all the players you're playing against. There's a big rivalry still there, so I think just going to list everyone. So I think we'd be massive to get a win, because we talked about like we're game to game focused, but this is a huge game, and ultimately try to win a trophy. So this is the next step.